4 x 9, 36, 5 x 9, 45, 6 x 9, 54. Bonjour le monde, je m'appelle Emma et je suis actuellement au siège de l'UNESCO à Paris. Aujourd'hui, j'ai envie de vous parler d'éducation. En effet, l'éducation joue un rôle fondamental dans la transformation de l'Afrique de demain. Mais je vais donner la parole à Endrina, qui en parlera beaucoup mieux que moi.
Tatekulu Nelson Mandela said that education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. However, when we observe the reality on the ground, we find that only a fraction of Africa's youth has a fair chance at becoming productive citizens through certification. This is why ensuring access to education is fundamental to unlocking the true potential of our beautiful continent. A continent so rich in resources, a young and energetic continent, a hopeful continent. My name is Andrina Kangala and I am Namibian. It is through education that a village boy from the poorest region in Namibia can go on to learn big words like quantitative finance, go on to become a renowned academic at one of the leading universities in Africa, and use research to produce mathematical algorithms that solve real-life problems. It is also through education that a young girl from Malawi can realize her dream of being part of a solution to fighting the devastating malaria crisis. For a young girl from Nigeria, it was through education that she went from reading unrelatable fictional stories of snow and people eating bagels to writing her own. There are many of these stories of individuals who have impacted Africa and the world because of education. There can be many others too. After all, Nelson Mandela also called education the great engine of personal development, through which the daughter of a person can become a doctor and the child of farm workers can become the president of a great nation. The African higher education system is not immune to the challenges that continue to diminish the productivity of the continent and its people. Tertiary education institutions are not as diverse and inclusive as needed. Today, Africa is faced with a deficit of training opportunities that ensure a wider pool of skills amongst its youthful labor force. This has crippled the quality of output, whereby Africa finds itself with a mismatch between skill supply and demand, with the necessity to outsource certain skills on one hand, while sitting with skilled unemployed graduates on the other. These challenges have been further exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic, which has exposed the unprecedented digital divide across the African education fraternity. I bear witness to the difficulties faced by all stakeholders in adapting to the rapidly changing digital age, be it students or educators. Even the fortunate few who are exempt from this predicament are left with a constrained pool of online resources for African research. Coinciding with that is a lack of research funding and equipment in numerous African universities. My future Africa is one that is a stringent higher education system, a system that is without barriers, one that reaches the marginalized, one that builds a diverse and innovative African workforce, a workforce that is fully equipped to forge its own solutions to its unique challenges. My future Africa is one that is a hub of innovation and creativity, enabling her to stand strong on her own, burning with opportunities for a heterogeneous manpower. My future Africa equips her youth with the required technical and pervasive skills that drive change both at home and worldwide. My future Africa is replete with financially literate citizens, ensuring that she becomes an economically liberated continent.
Merci beaucoup pour ce témoignage. Mais alors, que peut faire l'UNESCO?
Africa has the youngest population in the world. UNESCO believes firmly that young people are crucial actors, leaders, partners, and that they hold the key for the achievement of sustainable development in Africa. That is why the organization endeavors to empower youth by promoting their access to inclusive, equitable, quality higher education on the continent, as well as to pathways to employment. My name is Sarah Osman. I'm from Sudan and I work in UNESCO. Given that Africa is a global priority for UNESCO, a flagship program, Campus Africa, was launched to support the strengthening of higher education systems and to accompany African states in achieving the objectives of the African Union's 2063 Agenda and the 2030 UN Sustainable Development Goals. In the context of the program, the organization provides policy advice and technical support to countries in Africa to transform their higher education systems. Moreover, to help address the challenges related to skills mismatch, as well as youth unemployment and underemployment, UNESCO launched the project in 2019 in partnership with 12 African universities to upskill youth and enhance their employability in Côte d'Ivoire, Ethiopia, Gabon, Senegal, Tanzania, and Uganda, contributing to youth empowerment and national socioeconomic development. In order to facilitate academic mobility and ensure the right to access further academic and professional opportunities for youth, including for refugees and vulnerable youth affected by emergencies, UNESCO promotes international and regional cooperation, including through instruments such as the EDIS Convention on the recognition of studies, certificates, diplomas, degrees, and other academic qualifications on higher education in African states. UNESCO also promotes inter-university cooperation, strengthens research capacities of tertiary institutions, and mobilizes its networks, particularly UNESCO chairs in Africa and beyond. The L'Oréal UNESCO for Women in Science Awards are a prime example. To date, the prize has established a community of over 180 African laureates who have received comprehensive leadership training and support. Inclusive, equitable, and quality higher education systems play a crucial role in supporting young talents in Africa, so they can fully reap the opportunities for individual growth and contribute to socioeconomic transformation of their societies. UNESCO will continue its relentless endeavor in this regard, while empowering and counting on young talents to extend this cause.
Merci beaucoup pour ces explications. Il reste encore beaucoup de défis à relever et nous avons besoin de vous et votre soutien pour nous aider.